close the game.
I mean, we got the trophies. That's what really matters.
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right, take us somewhere. Okay. Was there one more trophy that you think we can get before we call it a day?
Let me look.
I smelled tuna for some reason. I don't know
I
if this
think
is
the
good.
only other one that you could easily get is the 360 no scope, and you'd have to do that like in a low level area and hope for the best while being sleep deprived. Other than that, no.
All right, take us back to Sanctuary. I know
And
it's
you're never gonna.
Concordia. Like, keep in mind that I know it's
What?
Concordia. What?
It said that I was saving.
Yeah, we both were.
The item of the day in vending machines is usually more awesome than your typical fare. But it's only available for a limited time, so don't miss out.
I said, for real. Fuck, how you feel? Fuck you 2 cents has been going towards bills. That's Mark's jam right there.
Totally.
Totally. Oh
Totally,
man.
dude.
Party like a
Yeah,
rock.
dude.
Party like a rock star.
Meow, dude.
Are we over 50? Hey! Well, hell, man, is weird and gay.
But yeah, we're pretty close to being done.
Which is good. Cause it feels great to like have games completed, and like I can walk away from them and deleting them is like the most like it feels like it's so cathartic. I don't even know if I use that word right. It feels amazing to like look at a game and be like you're done.
Rewired his own daughter to be a fucking machine, basically, and run a space station. Like, he did that before any of this happened. Like the girl we killed that is his
Angel, yeah,
daughter. Like,
yeah.
yeah, he
I
had
mean
already
she's
done
in
that.
this one, like she's in this one.
Yeah.
And I saw her, but I didn't get like any like back context as to why she was what she was. Um, and what was it? There was something else he did specifically in this game. Uh, I mean, we talked about him
I
killing his
mean, he
grandmother.
rewrote the AI thing
Yeah, that's what it was. Like he
because
refused to
he
take the
didn't feel he could
time.
wait.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah.
Like he made it sound like it was like justified that the 3 days wait wouldn't be fair. Like it would be too like
Like,
risky.
I'm not gonna risk like
But it was what it was.
thousands of
Like
people's lives
she
because of an
she
AI. You
asked it.
know.
She asked for that multiple times before he actually did it. Like multiple
Yeah.
times before he actually did it. And he had already shown that he didn't care that much. Like he was very nonchalant about he dude had a plan and his objective was to get this plan completed come hell or high water. Didn't matter who he had to kill or who he had to step on to get it done. He was gonna get this job done. There is at no point in this game that Jack comes off as the good guy. Like there's just at no point in this game does he come off as the good guy. And like with that being said, the game isn't bad. It just doesn't break new ground. Like the art styles is just Borderlands 1 and 2. It doesn't feel like a different game. It plays exactly the same. It's easier, which is a plus because it doesn't ask as much of you as Borderlands 2 did. It really didn't. which is
I mean, I'll say like mechanically, I feel like I like this one a little more, but that's about it because I like the floaty jump mechanics. But that's me.
yeah, like it just didn't justify what the game wanted me to do. Like it just really didn't justify like a whole brand new game. Like it just really didn't. And for it to actually put like a company out of business is strange. But I think also the idea that they used almost like exclusively Australian characters for this game is weird, and it kind of alienates like a wider. Which I understand, like a lot of American games do the same thing. Like you have like Western characters throughout a game that ships across the world, and it easily could alienate like anybody in Japan or Europe or whatever the fuck. But Australia being a very niche thing, location, it's in like, and they don't necessarily just be Australian. Like it's a lot of Australian tropes and jokes, and they're poking fun at Australians. You know how I feel about Borderlands and its comedy. I don't necessarily feel like Borderlands is funny. I feel like it tries extremely hard to be funny, and in that doesn't really do a good job. Because instead of just being funny, it's trying to be funny. It's not necessarily writing like a good narrative that lends to a dramatic comedy. It uses a lot of references to things that are already good, and it's really just like a parody of a whole lot of. It's Family Guy. It's a parody of a whole lot of really good shit that you already know about, and that's it. And like it sucks that it put a whole company out of business, but yeah, it's kind of like again Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask looks exactly the same as Ocarina of Time, except it just plays different enough to justify its existence. Like it does, it plays different enough to justify its existence. This, on the other hand, just it doesn't stray far enough from the other two games. Just hell, Borderlands 2 ain't much different from Borderlands 1 from what I remember.
I mean,
Which is probably why
Borderlands
this is what
1
they wanted.
again. Borderlands 1 really was like really bare bones. Like it didn't really try to tell a story. It was more or less like there were characters that talked, but your character didn't talk. Your character wasn't really involved in the narrative until Borderlands 2, to be honest. But I mean, you know how I feel about these games. The main reason I like these games is because they're just literally grinding and killing things and picking up loot. Again, the things that I like about this are the reason that I like Destiny at all. And I like referential humor. I mean, it's easy, but I do like it.
Mm.
I mean, I make it clear that I do like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this game really didn't sell well. That's why there's only two DLCs. That's why there's only two DLC characters. Mind you, this is the same studio that made all the Bioshock games, by the way,
Okay, yeah.
before this came out.
2K or 2K Australia?
2K Australia.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. But this is a. I would say it wasn't worth the gamble, clearly, because I mean, Borderlands isn't like really that big of a deal, like in the grand scheme of things. Like
I
it
mean, it's
really,
got its
really
niche
isn't.
audience, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Like again, I enjoy playing it with you, but it's not something that I
Yeah,
would want to
I
sit down.
wouldn't say you would play it on your own though. Like you would, this is a lot more fun when you have someone to play it with, more or less. Like again, the most of the game is about like I get that reference, which again that is kind of the Family Guy thing. I
And I
understand.
understand that we make each other laugh a lot, for in our small group of friends. It's all references like constantly, but understand that we're not selling our references. We're not, like, I guess technically, like in my videos, like, yeah, you hear us talk and you hear that's how we talk. That's how we speak and convey thoughts to each other. But we're not packaging references to shit you already know and trying to sell it to you. Again, it's not a new concept. Like it's really not. It's I say the bear the main storylines is always okay. And again, I think actually I take it back. The main storyline of two was pretty good, but the main storyline of this one doesn't again falls flat because it's trying to paint it tries to explain to you why the events of two happened, and the only way that would have worked is if Jack wasn't anywhere close to the maniacal like lunatic he became in Borderlands 2. But from start, he was a cocky, like way too into himself kind of guy. Like it just was what it was, and like that because I got spoiled on like what this game was about, and so I came in here expecting to see Jack in this like different light, and expecting him to be very very different and like to be nothing like he was at the end of by the middle of Borderlands 2. But that wasn't what happened. It was just more of the same guy. Like the way he talked was exactly the same. The cadence in his voice, it just didn't change. Nothing was different. So yeah, the storyline doesn't really isn't it? I'll tell you this. I feel that they could have shrunk this and made it DLC for Borderlands 2. That they could have simply like shrunk this down and put it in Borderlands 2 as DLC as like Jack's origin story, and I think that would have been a smarter choice. Like at the very least, like from a business standpoint, because it just wasn't. If it shut down the whole studio, you know. I hope this turned out to be a good video. Guess we'll find out.